Yeah, it's going to be awesome. These cars, they just work at so many tracks, and with
I only need 2 temps. I can get 2 temps and I'll be there. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's just so close.
Hmm. Very tight.
Right, I'm gonna win it. If I win this, mate, I'll give everyone I know I don't even know, mate. I need to join that soon called crap. I'm joining it now. Right, here we go, mate.
Good luck for that.
Right,
Yeah, good luck. Let's go.
Still broken for me.
why have I now got Ferrari livery on?
Yeah, you've got a Ferrari everyone. I don't know
Why
why.
has it just changed? What the fuck?
And Alvaro's
When I
got
download-
no idea what he's got on. You got your trading paints running.
No.
Oh well, don't worry about it. Yeah, Alvaro's got a random livery on. He'll be alright on stream. You'll be alright on stream as well. Ah.
Wait. Oh man, I have to go to pits, right? I don't know. To slow down more there. Right, I got 2 laps.
last thing I can see,
we're already, by the way, fast in the pole position from last season by quite a margin. Last season's pole position was a 1 minute 4.359. We're already a tenth and a half, maybe 2 tenths faster than that. Josh Ladd qualified only in 8th position when we went racing around here last season. Looking for something slightly better than that as he goes onto the pole position by nearly a tenth and a half a second over Moreno Sirica. Of course, looking really strong after the previous round of the championship where Josh Ladd had that pole position. But here come the apex train. McEwen, Much and Berryman, who is really the qualifying four-man in the British Formula 4 Esports Championship. Lowest qualifying in 2 seasons is 4th place.
Yeah,
Mate,
very
what is that
strong there.
grip?
Awesome stuff. They're obviously very much competitive. Who lamed 20th place. Of course,
Oh,
the
one
championship
lap. I have to
leader
cool my
by
tyres
4
down big.
points. Is but sort of really really enjoying.
Right.
Sorry, not enjoying this qualifying session so far. Almost a second off, maybe just trying to get some heat into those tyres for next time.
Yeah, certainly. So Thomas Simon in the Veloce Vexed car on our screen at the moment. We did see, I saw Matt Emery, who is now just 1 position ahead, a VR user. I did use some VR recently. It really scared me, to be honest. It's like it was the halo. I felt very claustrophobic in the car, but it's great for spatial awareness. Tamashimon has crossed the line. Arvidsson goes into 11th position, and there was no improvement there from Tamashimon. Really interesting to see Remy Gilbert though in 13th position, much further down the order than we would expect for the driver that currently sits as joint second in the championship.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, of course, won the second race, so the reverse grid race, but came 8th
Mate,
in that first
he's
race
just
as well
got
for
no
Ford,
grip. Like,
Esports, so
fucking hell.
not quite so fast. Once again, look how close the lap times
Gotta
are.
get a
Just
lap in.
couple of tenths really separating that sort of bottom half of the table so far. Quite sort of a decent chunk in terms of how close it are.
How many litres
the
would it be
lap
for the
times
race?
are. 10
50,
at the front,
60?
Peter Berryman. That's a huge amount of time at a circuit like this as we're on board.
I ran 15 last time.
Oh, where's this Zoom call?
Edge of his tire, right to the edge of every single
Good.
curve, watching every bit of racetrack.
Gordy Much, a spy
Same
commentator.
Same password and stuff as last week. It's in updates, Brand Sats channel on there.
When we get into a commentary booth together, I told him to focus on his driving. Of which, yeah, he did pretty well last time. Obviously, was first place in the first race of the championship. Obviously, after a lot of drama, including that contact between Luke McEwen and Josh Ladd, who, by the way, 3rd and 4th. Drama. Josh Ladd now moves up into second position with Ted Bradbury moving up to 5th. The first time he can qualify
Well,
this season after having started both the races from Brands Hatch from the rear of the field.
Yeah, yeah.
Should be interesting to see what does Gordy Much do across the line, looking to improve
the
on a
Brands Hatch
3.90.
set, the set of channels in the Brands Hatch category for the worst.
So fantastic lap
Okay.
time, but no improvement
updates
from
is-
Gordy Much.
Just half a tenth covering
Whereabouts is
second,
it?
3rd and 4th place.
In the updates
on
channel
the
and
grid,
there.
as that actually continues quite
Okay,
a way
yeah.
down.
Couple-
So
couple
7th
messages up.
place, down to 12th place. They are all within about 10th of a second.
Mate, my mate
of
just
each
asked
other
me,
as well.
better
Such
win.
close
I
lap
ain't
times, so
winning
3.5
all
minutes to go.
raffles.
Here's Lucas Muller for Esports coming out of the final corner up towards the start finish line P12.
We'll keep our noses
as it
clean then,
stands,
I think.
going to be in that. He does actually slightly change his
Zoom.
lap time, but stays in that 12th place.
Remember, Lucas Muller was looking really impressive last round at various points, particularly in that second race, and unfortunately got involved in an incident, which, to be fair, quite a lot of people got involved in an incident in that second race at Brands Hatch. It was
Up
pretty
the
crazy.
Costa.
Championship leader then, very far down the order, and the driver who put on by far the best moves back in Brands Hatch, including that incredible 3-wide pass into Paddock Hill. Looking to have to put a lot of those onto the into the race if there's going to be any major improvement. But I suspect there's more time in this qualifying, taking a lot of that first curve, and that will probably invalidate the lap time based on his facial expression. Josh Poulain will come across the line, 19th position, and that's where they're going to stay. Fuming championship leader.
Yeah, that is not where he wants to be, because not only is it a low down position, but he's 9 places away from the points, and also if the reverse grid is 7th like we have in this F1600s, then that's 12 places that he needs to gain in this first race to get back up there, which is very, very tricky, especially considering a lot of his championship rivals are up there ahead of him, the likes of Much, Berryman, of course, Gilbert also actually struggling a little
I hope
bit
this don't show in the top
from
corner, mate.
second place in the
Thank goodness for that.
championship. So definitely a little bit more open it seems to be here at Donington National.
Yeah, certainly. So that is an incredible lap time by Peter Berryman. Of course, when it comes to the qualifying, once again, I'll bring it up from last season. Of course, tyres, temperature, etc., etc., etc. It's not, one to one. But last season it was a 1 minute 4.359 in the hands of Alex Spetz. That's quite a bit faster, half a second faster around the same layout. Of course, like you say, temperature I think is a little bit cooler out on circuit than it was last season, but still, that's a mega lap time from Berryman. Also to have taken the pole position by a whopping 10th of a second. Of course, there's still a few more lap times to come in as we ride on board with Daniel Sabula, who I believe is the last driver out on circuit right now.
Oh yeah, everyone's sort of done their laps early, haven't they, in the session? We haven't got a flurry of cars to come across at the final second, but Sabula still potential to improve. Currently 25th place, so definitely some nice improvements would be very helpful on this final lap. Number 27 machine. Oh, look at that! Love the glasses, the Thug Life glasses in towards the final corner. Absolutely loving life, but are they going to be loving their qualifying position across the line? Where are they going to improve any sorts of major moves? No, he's going to be 25th place.
Sorry, Cam, but you don't understand. He doesn't care about where he's qualifying. He might even be setting
oh yes, mate,
right
and that is what you want.
Making sure that Daniel Sabula appears on this broadcast.
Oh, far, how much fuel you putting in for the race?
Telling everyone what's what.
I think 15 liters.
I respect
15, say no more.
I do as well. He's popping his head on. He's probably listening to some D&D or something like that. Just absolutely.
I don't think that it's
no, the room's perfectly silent.
For 1 liter less.
It's just perfectly silent. He's just moving his head. He's having a great time.
Yep.
Yeah, it certainly is. As he just finishes off the qualifying session in style there, and certainly looks like it's going to be an awesome race. There's literally.
Because I am a blue nose, and I ain't blue nose too.
And again, can we just speak a little bit about Peter Berryman's qualifying record? Because of course the pole position there.
Mate, here we go.
Of course. Felix qualified second place in the previous round.
Here we go.
That was
Manchester City.
That was a couple of pole positions. And again, a reminder: the lowest qualifying position is 4th for Pete Berryman. It is all Stormforce.
You're in the Zoom call, Dan.
On the front row, Pete Berryman, Luke McEwen, the series champion, will start from second. Josh Ladd in 3rd position. Those two came to blows in the previous round at Brands Hatch, with Gordy Much in 4th. Bradbury in 5th position with his best qualifying of the season, obviously.
You got your camera.
Moreno Sarika in 6th, making it 2 Williams Esports inside that top 6. Matt Emery will start from 7th position with Matt Caruana, fresh off his victory at the weekend at Silverstone along with Ryan McAuliffe. He'll start from 8th position. Harley Horton from 9th, and Stanley Deslandis starting from 10th place in the JHR by 29 Esports. Tamas Simon and Lucas Muller rounding
literally
out
looking
the
at all the
top
people
12.
in it.
Isaac Arvidsson and
Brandon
Alexander Davidson
Logan,
starting from
he's not even in his seat at the moment.
Aaron Vasquez, Tobias Olsen continuing on what was quite a difficult start of the season with Simrace Sweden Esports, along with Remy.
30 seconds, let's go.
Disappointment for Guild.
Okay, let's go.
Starting from 19. Mama Biancalilla and Duncan Coughlin, not impressing too much. The Aston Martin team with
let's wait for crashes.
Brandon Abrams and Rachel Concoli will start.
Let's go, points racing.
Daniel Sabula absolutely bopping along to some mega tunes in 25th place, with Sergio Fitzpatrick starting her first race of the season in 26th. Marino and Carl Chase, Ryan McAuliffe, and Daniel Parent Smith starting from 30th position.
Good luck, mate.
Good luck, boys.
More disappointment as well for Daniel Parent Smith and Carl Chase rounding out the 30-car field.
Green.
Victory. You've got a few seconds.
What a start.
Gordy Much from the second row.
Gordy Much in the second row, looking for another victory on the season. I can't look past Pete Berryman. That is the important thing here. Of course, you've got Luke McEwen up there. You've got Josh Ladd as well. A lot of the high flyers in the championship 12 months ago, looking to take their first victory of the season, or looking to get through this race without making contact. We'll have to wait and see as the first race here at Donington Park, 3rd of the championship, is about to get underway. Pete Berryman starting this one from pole position. We are underway here at Brands Hatch. Good start from both the Stormforce cars.
Oh, way.
To cover Josh Ladd.
Amazing.
Alvaro, you got no rear wing. Yeah, you got no rear wing.
Amazing.
That was a great move from that guy.
Yeah, fuck me as well.
You idiot, come on.
Mate, I had nowhere to go, mate.
No, I'm not complaining about you.
Yeah, I know, but...
It was the other Daniel. Fucking hell, oh my god. Nah, I'm done.
Mate, that is a shocker.
Oh, they're all crashing as well.
Yeah, what damage I have? Wing, for sure.
Yeah, you've got no rear wing.
Ah, perfect.
What's my damage like, James?
Hold on.
Nah, and his car is perfectly good. Amazing.
The penultimate stretch down into the Fogarty S, the inside line. Taking a little bit there from Caruana, who's was a little bit slow.
Your car is fine. You got slight damage on your front, but that's it.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yeah, you're
Nah, I
fine.
couldn't even turn on the corners.
Big drama as they head their way to that final chicane for the first time.
That was a big hit as well. Car's going to be out of the race for sure. But now Robinson was flying.
What, so that's it?
Yeah, your front wing is fine. It looks fine.
Just there to carry on, and we saw him really fighting up towards the front. Unfortunately, the contact coming down back then due to getting too close to someone else. It's definitely easy to do so at these stars of track. Up the inside of McLean's is going to be there. Ted Bradbury.
If I enter how many seconds I will lose on the repair? A lot, or not?
Yeah, brilliant stuff from.
It's no fast repair, is there?
Stormforce racing cars. They won't battle too hard. Of course, both represent the Apex Racing team, as is Gordy Muck. So at the moment, for those, it's a 1, 2, and 3 on the grid. Obviously, big drama for Stanley Deslandis. Let's take a look at how that will unfold. We'll keep an eye on.
I've definitely got some kind of damage because my car feels like fucking shite.
Yeah, your front wing is damaged. It's still there. It's just
You
bent.
can change wings if you want then. Whoa! Oh my god.
Mate, there's something wrong with my car, mate. It actually feels like shit.
Definitely that Russia car slowing
Bro,
down. Just
I can't. Why, man? Like, whoa,
But it's easy to do so,
fucking
though, when
hell.
everyone's trying to come through, especially on that first lap. Everyone's close together, and they just, potentially aren't going at full speed, even in some of the corners as we get.
What teams are Daniel Tebulan and Brandon Abrams from?
They want to try and pull away, but
Mate, he's
Mike
a
and
fucking
Josh
weapon,
Ladd
mate.
are certainly not too far away. If anything, they're catching, they're getting closer, just like we saw at a car up there. Abrams has gone off there, and that's the old problem, isn't it? And he's going to be getting on at a very awkward moment, but seems to be able to do so.
No rear wing that as well. So there might have been some more drama. Let's take a look at what happened to Brandon Abrams. Battling here with Ryan McCallif. I believe just getting run over going into that corner. Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, the old hairpins incredibly high.
Mate, I cannot drive this, mate. It's actually bad.
Big shame for Brandon Abrams, and unfortunately, it's not.
Come in and
so
repair
much
it.
As it did last time. Remember, Gilbert's work is about.
Well, or just keep it on the track for positions.
Now to 10th position. Where's that come from?
9th even. Oh, it goes back down to P10. Lovely stuff. Huge battle here coming in towards Redgate. Sliding all over the place. That's about 7 cars on your screen as we come down through Hollywood and the Crater Curves. This is absolutely crazy. Hopefully they're looking out, listening to their spotters. Side by side, 3 cars deep in towards the old hairpin. Number 32 down Poulay. Round the outside, a little bit of contact is made.
Yeah, Ollie Horton getting in a little bit too deep. Here comes the side by side. And Henry getting his way through in the Veloce Vex car. Looking backwards from Josh Poulay, who now works his way to the 9th position. Incredible stuff for the championship leader, showing that he knows how to get overtakes done in this car.
Yeah, I'm doing some drifting.
Work his way through. You've got the number 9 of Tobias Olsen in 12th position. Our focus here. You've got Lucas Muller right over the rear end of him, trying to fend off literally everyone else. You've got James
Because
Armstrong,
rear wing is not something repairable, or it is.
Remy Gilbert as well. This is honestly madness, absolute madness.
Oh no. Wait, Dan, are you still in the pits?
No. Nah, this is unbelievable. Come on.
4 wide, almost as we come down this front straight.
Well, delays past, like.
Oh god, these guys are really solid. Starts going a bit crazy here.
This is undrivable.
Where are you at, Bar?
17 seconds behind you. But yeah, I'm like fighting each corner with this car. I mean, I have no downforce, so yeah. It's like driving the Formula 16, so I don't know how it's called. The race. I don't know how it's exactly the name of it.
Mate, oh my god.
What happened? What happened there?
Mate, I just there, sitting there, mate, and I'm just letting everyone pass. And the fucking... Mate, what is that?
I've just gone back and watched it. Holy shit.
What the hell, man?
Sums this all up.
Come on, pre-position for the no
See
win.
that, mate? What is that? Bruv. Mate. Fuck's sake. I've had a stinker, mate. Oh, bro, what is this? James, can I have refund, mate, and let someone else drive?
No.
Please.
From Carl Chase, just contact and, well, yeah.
Eat after money, mate.
And that's where
fuck's sake,
well.
man.
Just, easily done, I guess, but still quite messy. Pete Berryman, Luke McEwen, Josh Ladd.
Oh my God.
Still fighting for the race victory in the background. You've got Ted Bradley, Moreno, Sarika. Those two have
crashed
fairly
out,
recently.
bruv.
And Matt Caruana looking to get his way back into the fight, working his way through Ted Bradley to the inside line. Still 5th position for the Altus Esports driver.
As Caruana now gets the run on Sarika, obviously Sarika, when you overtake into that final chicane, you really lose a lot of momentum down the inside. It's going to be Bradbury in the slipstream as well to Caruana, but Caruana can't actually make it work. Sarika around the outside of Redgate, out of nowhere, broke so much later. Does he have the momentum to go all the way around the outside of Hollywood? It's going to be very, very difficult once you get down towards the crane occurs, and once again the outside of the old heavy, but they continue side by side. Ted Bradbury on the inside, Sarika on the outside. One of them surely has to leave some space and lift off the throttle, but no, they don't. Up towards the hill once again. Caruana getting that section too.
Yeah, this is going to be dicey. It's not going to be 3 wide. Surely Matt Caruana isn't that kind of driver. We know he can be quite aggressive.
Yeah, Manuel, the one from Aston Martin, had damage, but I don't know how severe because I'm coming close to him with no win. So.
He still has a rear wing.
Ah, he also doesn't have it.
But he's got he has a rear wing, but he has no front. He has no front.
Oh, you can change. You can swap.
Well, no, he does. He does have half a. He has half a front wing.
Yeah, they're not getting inside the top 4, but
He has considerable more aero than you do.
James,
What?
James, one of my mates just went, fuck it, next race go flat out into T1.
Nah, bro, no. You fucking dare.
Yes, Miguel! Yes, Miguel!
You
What the
dare.
Miguel?
Swap positions so easily, it seems, around here, but of course, they're losing a lot of time to cars head now 4 seconds off.
Yeah, you got to watch out as well for the Sim Race Suite Esports team, who definitely have better pace than what they've shown in the results. As here comes the move then, Josh Ladd's getting to the inside of Gordy Marks. This is the 3rd position. The JHR by 29 Esports driver is about to drop back to position. The winner of the 1st race of the 2023 campaign is about to be passed by Josh Ladd. Luke McEwen still holds on to 2nd position. I'll remind you, with McEwen, by the way, currently sits on -1 point. In the championship, after picking up a penalty point back in Brands Hatch, and obviously didn't score at all, so that sticks you into negative figures.
Right, let's have a look at that lap 1 incident then. Report.
I think lap 1 incidents are automatically.
Oh yeah, you can't report lap 1 anyway, can you? Right.
Ah, you can. Okay.
No, I don't know if you can.
Well, you can submit it and that's it. Or probably it's on my side. I don't think so, but yeah, let's see.
Might tell me when I go into the forum.
Does he have enough speed to try and get away from both of these cars? He's been sitting there in that 4th place for such a long time. Maybe saved up just a little bit of pace and there were times maybe in that car to try and push on and pull away.
I mean, yeah, at the moment McEwen can guarantee the victory. The Stormforce Racing by ART can absolutely guarantee it by just fighting Josh Ladd. But that will remove him from the opportunity of taking victory, right? And there's still plenty of chance of game. Yes, there's the whole team thing, the whole team dynamic. That's where most of the prize money is given out and stuff. But still, you've got to think about your own chance of aspirations. He's got the #1 on the car for a reason. He knows how to win the title. And Gordy much, I think, behind. Probably won't fight too hard yet.
And one thing I like, especially on the face of Josh Ladd, look how calm and collected they are. No emotion at all, just doing the job on the track that they need to. And Ladd certainly is in a very strong position as it stands. Although actually, despite sort of having all the pressure in behind, they've caught up ever so slightly by about a second or so onto Peter Berryman in the last lap. So they've got the speed in this car. Berryman does need to look out if they have a pretty clean battle. So as you say, all the McEwen can do to help his team right now is start battling, but I think Ladd has a bit of pace in hand.
Nah, this isn't drivable.
Yeah, just keep going though, because you retire, you'll lose a couple spots.
Yeah. Now I'm going to let by everybody.
One of them this season, which is Gordy Much. Josh Ladd has only
come on, everybody, come by.
That was the 1st race of the season last season. And guess where that was?
Yeah, I'm going to go inside here.
It was around here. The only venue that Josh Ladd has taken a victory at has been around the Donington Park National circuit. Could that be a little bit of good fortune for Josh Ladd after a difficult 1st round of the campaign at Brands Hatch? There might be a bit more on the horizon. We can see into the into the very Scottish eyes of Gordy Much. There actually can't believe he's been blinded by the light. Never mind, there was a car there, we'll ignore that too much. I did see that there was a switch position. I think Poulain and Emery switching their way around, so just Poulain now in 9th position. I'm really keeping fingers crossed for a very fortuitous reverse grid.
Yeah, he'll be a little sad if it's P8 on the reverse grid, because it's random, so I have to find out in a few moments' time how that is going to look for the second race, but certainly in the first half of this first race of the evening, a very strong job from the championship leader, Poulain, trying to recover. But the issue is that 9th place is only 2 points. That's a lot of points lost to the likes of Gordy Much, who's up there in 4th place at the moment, so definitely needs to be pushing on. Sorika there for 5th place, getting past Ted Bradbury. That battle's still going strong. Oh no! He goes too much onto the curb, slides, and he takes Bradbury with him.
Oh, Bradbury's been it.
Yeah, that is a big shame. Ted Bradbury's not been
Ted's in the wall.
best results in the British
Ted's
Championship, and now we'll look
Ted's got away with it.
difficulties. Moreno Sorika will try and rejoin the circuit.
He's going to retire or not?
No. Ted got away with it as well because he was facing the right direction, whereas the Williams who hit him was facing the wrong way. So, away with it.
And I did say in the Formula 1600s, you don't really want to touch those curbs. There is a good reason for it. They are really quite big.
Yeah, and he was coming in a little bit hot as well. Had to pinch the first technique slightly, so that, of course, sort of made a pendulum effect as such with the rear end of the car. Definitely didn't help that one. Yeah, the car's all loose and not planted at all, so unfortunately dropping down the way. That gives Matt Carana a very nice battle there with Arvidsson for that 5th place. Just a two-way battle as it stands. Bradbury, though, of course, now wants to continue on, trying to get some of those positions back that he just lost. So 11th place that's going to be as the battles continue on with Poulain losing that position back to him.
And obviously can still pick up a single point from getting past Remy Gilbert in that final points paying position. Matt Emery then taking the defensive line, opening up the opportunity now as he moves back over to the left hand side of the circuit for Josh Poulain to work his way through.
The next car behind you is for position.
Yeah, but I'm not going to fight because he has a
working car. He has a car.
Very risky trying to get around the outside there. So plenty of space given. It's a great race between these two. As Lucas Miller's going to try and make it 3 wide. This is not the place to do that up towards Darkness McLean.
Yeah, Miller's just got to sit in behind his Poulain up the inside. Oh, that was so close. Miller might be able to get a run.
Why is there a D license 1.4k in it?
Double overtake around the outside. That would be
Brandon Abrahams, D 2.0 1.4k IR.
But what team is that?
I don't know. The car is directly ahead of you.
To go to the outside. We've seen what's happened around there. He's got to back out of that one. The issue is he's going to lose the momentum onto the front straight now. So this
can't tell because he's got bloody Red Bull on for me.
Got to remember, Freem UK, they're the team's championship leaders. Josh Poulain is the driver's championship leader. That will most certainly be switching after this race, but just about by how much. Ted Bradbury, by the way, I think has got damage on the car and is dropping back. It's now 12th position behind James Armstrong. No surprise to see damage on that car, by the way. But do remember we went from 29th to 6th in the reverse grid race at Brands Hatch. So who knows? Who can count out Ted Bradbury? I think that would be a very unwise thing to count them up. You can see where the teams are on the left side on the tower. And you can see at the moment it's looking really.
Yeah, so we don't report. I don't have to report the incident. It gets looked at regardless.
And third in this, and for the Freem team that's leading the championship, just 8th and 11th at the moment. Sorry, 9th and 11th. Not bad myself. Yeah, 9th and 11th, even worse. And we'll have to see how this one continues, of course, because these battles are so strong. We're into the final 5 minutes now of the race and the final few laps, and therefore some even more aggressive driving should be coming your way. There is a 4-way battle that will be following Emery, Muller, Poulain and Gilbert, all fighting to get inside that top 7. And the further they get up, the more likely they are to have a nice.
How weird is that?
Coming into the pit lane, there's Horton, Harley Horton, the number 20 machine for Pure Sims having a few issues, or it's anyway, bent front wing.
Up there, Ronnie.
Yeah, there's a bent front wing on the left side, so there are issues there. Here is the battle as Arvidsson trying to get past Matt Caruana. Arvidsson did score points in the previous round decision with 8th place in the reverse grid race. And of course, Matt Caruana certainly had his issues. Matt Emery and Lucas Muller will switch positions. At the lead, by the way, I think there's been a bit of a look from Luke McEwen on Josh Ladd, because that gap was half a second the last time I checked. It now goes out to 1.3. unless there's been a mistake from Josh Ladd. It's given Pete Berryman a bit more breathing room as he's looking for his 5th victory in the British Formula 4 Esports Championship, and they're going to try and make it a 1-2 as Luke McEwen's going to try and work his way past.
So certainly is. Ladd really being aggressive with the moving over to the left as soon as McEwen gave the opportunity. Trying to get down the inside, trying to find a way. The issue is, it's a three-way battle. We'll look out for Gordon Much coming in that third place machine of this battle. Ladd holds on once more. McEwen does seem to have the speed at this point of the race. It's really starting to come back. And Ladd in the first couple of laps after Ladd got that position, he did look pretty comfortable. They were, as you say, we're catching down Pete Berryman, but now McEwen is coming back and really starting to battle. Maybe to help his teammate, but also just himself wants to get that position. He's looking very calm as Josh Ladd still at the left-hand pitch, and on the right is McEwen. Still looks calm as well.
Yeah. Mate, Alvaro, mate, how are you even driving?
Nah,
I mean, do you reckon these two
better than me just looking at the screen, but yeah.
Yeah.
The battling for the 2022 title, maybe put a bit of an end to that. But these two, the way they race,
Yeah, honestly, just 10 seconds before you said that, I watched the clock to see how many remaining, because if there are more than 5 minutes, I was going to the pits, because probably there's no more positions to change.
Hopefully for the second race. I just need the race damage on the first lap.
Can he go round the outside hill? Here we go. Backs out to that one. Going to get the up and under. Try and get the momentum as we come back up the hill.
The spatial awareness, though, to know exactly where that front wing was. Perfect stuff from McEwen. Gordy Much trying to assist the matter and push his sister teammate up the hill to the inside into McLean's, and that's being taken. McEwen makes the Stormforce Apex Racing team 1-2 at the moment as the JHR by 29 Esports cars trying to get himself involved in the mix. Josh Ladd's going to hang on to third position at the moment. It's going to be out into the backstretch with 3 wide. The squeeze coming out though. Gordy Much trying to work his way through. Going to try and pass. There's a bit of a squeeze though. You've got to know it's 3 wide at the moment as Josh Ladd's trying to hang on around the outside. The one that backs out. Gordy Much is in too deep. He's slapped over the curb, and that'll be Josh Ladd back into second position. Luke McEwen into third, and somehow they all come through it alive though. That's the important bit.
Certainly, but it's really spread out that battle. Ladd's got over a second advantage. McEwen, unfortunately, being in the middle, he just had to back out of that one. Otherwise, he was going to get pincered into that braking zone. So it's the safest option. The issue is, as we said, Ladd has got such a gap now, and potentially that's going to be a confirmed sort of top 3 in the order. We'll have to see how obviously the race continues with. Still a couple of laps to go, so that leaves Gordy Much in that 4th place, just about aligned. He's got Caruana coming in behind. Lucas Miller also making some moves in the background, but let's see this once more.
Now we've seen this, we saw basically a similar variant of this in the Formula 1600s. We see it once again. Watch Gordy Much in with quite a tight line middle of the road, just too deep. Bit of a lock up on the front right as he tries to arrest the car and pull it over. And Josh Ladd just, brave, read it brilliantly. McEwen backed out the wrong side. Bish bash bosh. Josh Ladd has second place, but is cleared off down the road. 3.3 seconds though, further ahead of that. Will be Pete Berryman starting the final lap of the race here in the first race at Donington Park.
Oh, absolutely strong result for the number 50 machine.
Should get to the line before him. But if you want to get yourself a lap, the race will be over.
Unfortunately, especially in that first race, got tagged and had to finish.
Leaders are on the final.
Yep, I think I can do it, but I don't know. Oh, Ryan, it's out, so let's hope.
Yeah, big shame there for McCallum. Like I said, I did say
Yeah, good. She got to the line, you might grab him.
Challenge, which was on Sunday. If I remember Sunday. Again, my brain. In a couple of hour race around there in GTs.
They end the race? Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
From unfortunately not quite the same occasion here, though.
Peter, Josh Ladd, Luke McCown. Well, McCown. I don't know how it's.
To take over the championship lead. I think it might be very close. It might even be enough for him to do so. But what it will be is a 5th victory in the British Formula 4 Esports Championship.
Oh, I'm going to appear on the stream. Let's go. Hello, guys. Yeah, go. Do the photo.
They're not. They just keep going.
Yeah, I'm going.
They're not finished. They're not finished. So keep going.
There's 2 drivers that are up there in the championship, and they gain a little bit from that. It will help with the spinny wheel.
Well, it certainly will. There's just 1.5 tenths covering those three drivers of Gilbert, Boulane and Emery towards the line. Got drivers coming down the pit lane as some of the others complete their race, first race of the evening for the F4 Esports Championship. Absolutely loving the racing around here. And to be honest, let's see what we're going to get for the reverse grid, the second race of the night.
Yeah, certainly so. We'll see what the number is, where the reverse grid is going to lie. We had a fantastic reverse grid race last time. What are we getting this time? I think it's going to be a 6. It is going to be a 6. It was 8 last time.
Why?
It is 6 this time.
I don't know.
So
you were on the same
that's going to be
lap,
interesting, Cam.
Yeah, certainly is. And as we're saying, for Josh Boulane, from basically the back of the grid, he's going to be
let's see
a little bit disappointed that it's a low number because he is not going to be getting that place. So yeah, 6th place means he'll be Arvidsson on pole.
Yeah, a couple of positions away from it being good for Remy Gilbert and, of course, Josh Boulane. But it's Pete Berryman with the victory. He'll drop back now into 6th place. Josh Ladd, Luke McEwen, Gordy Much, Matt Caruana and Ezek Arvidsson will be the drivers that switch. Those all separated by 5 seconds in the race. Big gap back to Lucas Miller, Remy Gilbert, and, of course, Josh Boulane, Matt Emery rounding out the top 10. Exciting race, of course. Fastest up there being set by Gordy Much, so bonus point will go their way. James Armstrong in 11th with Ted Bradbury, Duncan Hoffland, Tamas Simon, Moreno Sarika, Tobias Olsen with Daniel Sabula, Brandon Abrahams, and of course Stanley Deslandis and Carl Chase, those behind. It's dramatic when you see races like that, but it was pretty calm for our race leader. We believe, by the way, Daniel Sabula will drop back a little bit courtesy of some in-race infringements, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. What we do know is those 6 drivers are going to get reverse cam. We're in for another treat. We see,
you've seen Roman Grosjean just suing Andretti Autosport,
but not as many as we saw at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, I'm loving this series so far. The racing has been awesome, and I mean,
That's
just that
jokes.
3-wide moment in towards the final corner.
But it's not.
And Gordy Much as well. That's just the pinnacle of the racing. Such close fights, up falls the top positions, and yeah, some of the the best races on iRacing as well coming out to play. So really, really enjoying this one, and hopefully the reverse grid race could be a lot more action. Of course, 2 races to come this evening.
Certainly so. Well, let's have a little bit of a catch-up with some of our drivers. And first off, should have to be our race winner with Pete Berryman, who joins us now in the commentary booth. Pete, what did you make of that race? You were... I don't want to say it, too much, but you looked like you had a bit of an easier run in that one. Your teammates were fighting with Josh Ladd behind.
Yeah, I think qualifying really essentially got me the win. My qualifying lap was mega, so yeah, that basically was put me at the front and give me sort of control of everything. Obviously, a bit more difficult for the teammates behind. So yeah, nothing really special I done there. It was more just Luke protecting me, essentially making sure that I could get away when I did. And yeah, it was a bit of a time child, really, sort of.
Season, so obviously that was new for us this season. But Donington Park, we did race that last season. Did you go back and kind of check out some of the things that you were doing there, maybe to find some tricks, or was it all basically just starting fresh this time?
No, we definitely went back and looked. We were quite weak last year here, and we definitely wanted to fix that. And I think we have done. I think the qualifying and the race shows that. So yeah, we definitely, every race we go back and look at stuff and try to find little tweaks and things that we can improve on. So yeah, that definitely helped this time round.
Now you'll be starting the reverse grid race from 6th. What do you think the main difficulties are going to be from there? Is it quite a difficult?
Overtaking it side by side, but actually getting the move done requires a lot of risk in these corners. So I think the main goal for me really is just finish 6th or above. I don't want to drop further back than 6th, sort of just consolidate the points that we've got already. So hopefully not break any wings, not break mine or anybody else's, and yeah, just try and pick up as many points as I can.
Well, it's your 5th win of your British F4 Esports career, first of the season. Cheers, Pete, and good luck in the next one.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you.
There we go, Pete Berryman. Of course, now the most, I hate saying it, but it is the winningest driver in British Formula 4 Esports. So we'll go with that and we'll keep the stat. We'll hopefully get in Josh Ladd as well, of course, coming out 2nd place in that race. Josh, talk us through it. One that looked like an insanely difficult battle. That 3 wide down towards the chicane and with a few laps to go. That was scary.
Yeah, it was. Well, I knew Luke would probably back out being in the middle. And then I planned to just get an exit on Gordon, but he went off. So yeah.
How difficult is it, fighting, with all those after what was a difficult start to the season? We didn't really get to talk to you about what happened back in Brands Hatch. Have you calmed down? Is that all sorted and behind you? Are you just eyes focused on the current race?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously frustrating in the last race, but what can you do? It wasn't my fault, so it's what it is. But yeah, I mean, this track is obviously very different to Brands. With just the draft and everything. And to be honest, when I was in 4th behind Gordy and Luke, I thought it was pretty over because they're obviously all in the same team. So, they could have just gone 3 wide and blocked a track. But luckily, the opportunities presented themselves and I managed to make most of it.
What do you think's possible in the reverse grid race? You've got the pace to win around here. We've seen it before last season. Is that definitely on the cards?
For sure. I mean, the pace looked good. I was catching Pete at the end there, but obviously we got into a battle. But the reverse grid is the same as always in F4. It's going to be a bit of a wild ride for sure.
Well, we'll let you calm down before we get into that crazy action. Cheers, Josh.
Cheers.
And before we get into the Formula 1600 race, I think we should be joined by Luke McEwen, of course, our series champion of 2022. A driver who had a big struggle to the start of the 2023 season, but finally gets a podium onto the board after just 3 races. I say finally as if it's been like 1,000 years since we've seen you in here. Luke, talk us through that race. I mean, like I say, a bit dicey there. We just had a little bit of a chat with Josh Ladd. Again, talking about that 3 wide move and how you kind of backed out of it. When you're in that kind of fight, even despite the start of the season that you've had, are you still thinking title?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, like every race you're going into, you're always thinking, how can you get closer to winning the title, basically, even in round 1, round 2. So that's obviously the main goal. But obviously, winning the team's champ is obviously pretty big with Pete. He got an insane quali lap in and an insane race. Basically, just drove away. Yeah, it would have been nice to get a 1-2, but just got a bit loose out of coppice. Yeah, it's just bad mistake on my end. We ended up 3 wide. Yeah, but still happy with P3 after how race 1 went last week. So yeah.
Does any of how last week went? Does that weigh on your mind now, or have you moved on from that? Are you again just focused on the here and now?
Yeah, like obviously it dwelled on me for a few days, but like you just gotta get on with it. Forget about it. You can't change what happened. Obviously it affects it a little bit, but yeah, we're just getting the best results we can from now, and title is still a possibility. So yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit as well to prepare yourself. But we were kind of wondering through the race. You and Josh, obviously, you fought for the championship last season. You had that incident back in Brands Hatch, and there was some dicey racing in there. Do you two get along, or do you two like not talk to each other? Just obviously, just.
It's going to be on Daniel Caulfield up the inside of, into McLean's. Can they go? Yes, they can. Over them, just about squeeze through. Maybe he can hold on the outside.
Look at Henry Moore as well, straight around the outside of Brandon Loudon. That's for 4th position in that blue car, the number 41, straight around the outside now onto the rear of Daniel Caulfield. Jason Cooper into victory position, but of course we're 40 minutes away from that checkered flag coming out, so we've got a long time to fend off. He did get involved in a fight with Henry Moore back in Brands Hatch. Obviously, great recovery drives from the pair of them. The two did start from the front row of the grid at Brands Hatch after dropping back down the order for Jason Cooper. Came back into a well-deserved second position in the second race. What will be the occasion here? 3 wide in the background. Dana Moore in the middle, trying to work his way up the order. Ed Hope and Will Hope, one way each way around each other. And 8th place Dana Moore is going to get to.
Oh, what an opening lap. There's so many battles as we come downhill once more. We continue some side-by-side just in the back of that. Jack Badger trying to make some moves as we come down the hill in towards the old hairpin once more. That's a tight line up the inside there. There's going to be a thing as Felt just getting past Ed Hope there as we come up the hill once more. There's even more cars getting involved. Knowles is trying to get his name into the house, but all slow down there from the pole position driver. Cofield is dropping all the way down P13.
Whoa, and there's a bit of a crash there. That's one of the Hopes. I think it might be both of them actually involved in all of them. Ed Hope and Will Hope both dropping down the order. They would have hoped for a better race. I'm sorry, I just had to, but that is a big shame for them going into McLean's. Will Hope still going. Isaac Phelps has come through and all of that, but a big shame there.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see, especially a couple of family relatives there. That's going to be a bit of a slower exit out of the chicane, as we're going to see potentially some moves from Knowles. They're coming down the hill. Oh, more cars off in the background there. A couple of cars going for issues.
Yeah, that's always going to hurt things. Ettridge, the one there. Henry Moore, by the way, up into second position. Outside line being taken from Cameron Knowles. William Hope with the inside line as they head their way through Redgate. They'll go side by side down into the Craner curves. William Hope with the advantage heading into the old hairpin. You have to be pretty brave to send it around there. Martin Vilk as well will rejoin this fight after big dramas in the previous race. It's really struggled the season for Martin Vilk. Let's take a look at this stall on the race start though. How scary is this?
I can't believe everyone managed to get past. Often when you see this, when the car doesn't move,
getting in.
It doesn't at all. Everyone in behind just about going for it. What do you think would have happened there? Maybe just not getting the clutch engaged in some way. Definitely an interesting one.
I was going to say, well, when you're revving that highly, it's very hard to get the clutch engaged. And so if you weren't already, like a lot of drivers will get into first gear straight away, and then but clearly once you've done that, once you're revving high, you're like slamming the upshift, being like please, 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 and it never does. There is the slowdown from Caulfield. This is what happened to Ed Hope. Just into the rear end, so big shame for Ed Hope.
It's easily done though when everyone is so close at the beginning of the race. You really have to be on it. Everyone, maybe still just trying to work out their braking zones at this point. But back to the front, we've got Cooper leading the way. Moore's got up into second place ahead of Zambra as. Obviously this top three is starting to pull away just a little bit, and to be honest, these are some of the top three drivers we've seen in the competition so far, and they're really putting on a show. With still over 10 minutes left in this race, they're really going to have a hard battle there. Just in behind, we've got Tompkins and Loudon rounding out the top five. Yeah, and if Adam Tompkins does join this, we'll have the same top four fighting over the same four positions in race one as they are in race two. We'll have to wait and see if Tompkins can indeed do that. Certainly has got the speeds to do so, and probably a bit more knowledge on the racecraft. Bearing in mind what happened in the previous race, here comes Henry Moore then for the race lead. Down the inside they'll go Jason Cooper, then dropping back into second spot. You can see there on the left of the webcams at the bottom. Ciro Zambra will hold third position. They'll head their way up towards Redgate once again. 10 minutes left on the clock. This battle is certainly not done, and will not be probably for another 10 minutes, to be honest. Definitely not, but what could we say about Henry Moore today? Got pole by a huge jump and is really just so fast in this car already in the opening. What's this, the fourth race of the season so far, really putting his name down to be a contender for this championship. Cooper and Zambra now need to battle over this second place. There's Zambra on the screen, bottom right hand of your screen. He looks, we saw Josh Ladd in the previous race, look very calm. He looks a lot more serious and a lot more assertive with his sort of inputs to the wheel.
Yeah, also leaning a little bit forward, really getting involved, going all Marc Marquez. Maybe he'll be jumping onto a Gresini Ducati next season. We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, though, just eyes focused on taking a victory in this one. Ciro Zambra sat over the rear end of Jason Cooper. Henry Moore with the race lead. Adam Tompkins not with the pace to catch up to the trio at the moment that are running first, second and third, separated by just 0.2 of a second, all three of them.
It's so difficult to do what Zambra just did there, lifting off and trying to find a brake zone. Very difficult. We've got a 5-car battle coming down in towards the final corner as Will Hope there on the inside of the Farquhar. The Farquhar from the back of the grid, remember, he's up inside the top 10. There's Jack Badger on the exit, and also Crisp, who had the stall and almost this location a few laps ago. Now 3 wide has come down the inside as well in towards Redgate once again. Actually, Crisp managed to make that not 3 wide situation. Badger there getting past the Farquhar, and also Knowles trying to get involved on the action.
Can we just go back to Matt Crisp? You said stalled on the start, was 23rd into Redgate on the first lap of this race. Now in 10th position, literally 6 and a bit minutes later. That is crazy. That is absolutely insane. Great stuff from Matthew Crisp.
Awesome, and I guess it just shows just slightly away. sort of away with this series as well. Everyone is so close together that you can't make those positions back if you've got some speed and racecraft about you, especially on the opening couple laps where they're sort of, everyone's going all over the place. If you're sort of a little bit more calm about it, you can find those gaps to slide up the inside. And to be honest, he's still got maybe a Vilk up ahead of him if he can try and get past. First of all, it's going to be Will Hope down the inside in towards the final chicane. Potentially he's going to go side by side. It looks like he's going to be able to have that position, but we've seen a lot of drivers actually struggling with the braking point when they got up the inside. You sort of lose your references a bit, but he makes that move.
Yeah, and so Chris moves into 9th position. Martin Vilk's not too far down the road. Maybe just getting the final little whiff of slipstream, but if this group start battling, that whiff is absolutely gone, and this will start battling. The look to the inside there from William Hope. Cameron Knowles straight around the outside. Mac McFarquhar on the inside, taking over 12th position as they begin their race down the hill. We're now halfway through the second race of the evening, the Formula 1600s. Henry Moore taking the race lead as he took the race victory in the previous one. Jason Cooper, Zero Zambra, Adam Tompkins, Brandon Loudon currently running in that 5th position. Great start as well from Dan and Moore to move into 6th place after what has been a very difficult evening thus far for the driver who came into this as joint championship leader. When the driver that he was joint championship lead with, if he takes the clean sweep of the evening, you're looking at this being like, brilliant. How do I come back from this?
Yeah, that's going to be a very, very difficult one as well, especially with how the point system works. 25 for the win, down to 1 point for 10th place. And as it stands, 25 points going to Henry Moore, but still plenty of laps left in this race for Cooper and Zambra to try and find a way past. But what we see, it seems to be in these races so far, Henry Moore just loves sitting out in the front. He doesn't want to be 3rd place or 2nd place in the training. He wants to be out front controlling side by side down the straight. Is that going to be a Moore losing a place? Yes, it is. Phelps around the outside.
Yeah. Obviously, maybe just playing things a little bit wiser there. Isaac Phelps was in. Isaac Phelps is a plenty fast enough driver, of course, is one that came into the sitting inside the top 5 of the championship, so might well have the pace to catch down on Loudon and Tompkins as well. That's what their priority needs to be. Getting 4th position, although since we look back at this fight for 9th, Jack Badger, Matthew Crisp, William Hope, Mac McFarquhar and Cameron Knowles, all 5 of these fighting over this position. There's the inside move from William Hope for the final points pay position. The up and under brilliantly executed there from Matthew Crisp as we head back up the hill.
Certainly do once more, and it's going to be around the outside there in the background as well from Farquhar, trying to get up the inside of Will Hope, and I think he's made it stick. Yes, he has slid up the inside there nicely. Will Hope's going to come back up towards his corner now, and actually he's on the up and under very nicely there. He's going to have the position back as Knowles just watches on in the background, so he's trying to find a space to get up the inside and use a bit of slipstream maybe to get, oh no, we're not going to see a 3-wide situation. No, we're not. They're going to just back out of that one. Farquhar on the outside, but Will Hope on the inside, and now Knowles trying to find his position down the inside. Is going to be just that one.
Yeah, this is like I say, when it's like that, when you've got side by side ahead of you, it's so easy to cause a bit of an incident with a bit of miscommunication. We actually, saw that well executed from Josh Poulain in the first round at the championship. Obviously, in that very first race of the season, where he made that 3-wide pass in the British Formula 4 Esports Championship going into Paddock Hill. Those times where you make it 3-wide, you're kind of like the 3rd one joining the fight. It's so easy to just cause a crash. In doing so, you've got to expect those 2 other drivers that you're fighting with, those side by side, they're going to be much slower. You have to kind of back out. We've even seen it in both British Formula 4 Esports and the Formula 1600 races that we've seen thus far this evening. And yeah, it's easy to cause those kind of incidents. Thankfully, it was well read there from Cameron Knowles to not get into William Hope and Mac McFarquhar. We look back at the race lead though. 4/10 separates the top 3. Moore, Cooper, Zambra, as it was earlier, as we've seen all of these drivers on the podium this season thus far, including a couple of them tonight.
Yeah, they're looking very strong for the championship as it progresses very quickly already onto the 4th race of the season. There's Henry Moore down the inside, the left-hand side, and then Cooper on the right-hand side of the screen using that sequential shifter, as a couple of drivers are doing in this championship. Definitely, actually no, is he more of a H pattern?
This is a H pattern.
Yeah, he's H pattern, so we've got sequential shift, H pattern, and of course the normal paddle shifters for the majority of the field. So great stuff to see there. It seems to be working out well for him. He's been very fast so far in this championship. Henry Moore still looking calm, leading so far.
Do you know what I want to see now? I want to see if there's... I want pedal cam next time from Jason Cooper, only to see if there's a cheeky little bit of heel toe going on, which I'm sure most of this grid, considering the age, will have absolutely no idea what heel toe is. But when you get it right, it's sick. I had to learn doing laps on a different simulator around the Nordschleife in the Toyota GT86 just to prove that I could do heel turn. When you get it right, whew, it's good. It is good.
Yeah, it certainly is. As he obviously has to back down. Just want to see on the screen, is that second gear there coming through the final chicane, then up to third and surely fourth gear, down this front straightaway. There's a lot more to think about as well. Obviously, taking your hand off the wheel. There's a reason why back in the 90s now, the paddle shifters started coming out in the pneumatic stuff, because it just keeps your hands on the wheel. Always you've got Will Hope off the track there through the final chicane, and I wonder if someone else was involved, because he was in a big battle at the time. So let's see how that one works. Is that his teammate Ed Hope just passed him in towards the final chicane now. 3 cars battling in towards the braking zone. Crisp up the inside. Just goes in way too deep and makes contact.
No, it was Crisp. It was William Hope down the inside. Crisp was the one coming through. Mac Farquhar was the one that went over the top. Thankfully we're in sim racing, but that was not a pretty incident. Like you say, it's a bit aggressive there from William Hope going into the final chicane. Easily done, but like you said, that's exactly what we were talking about when it comes to those battles. When you've got 2 or 3 cars in it, and the train, the concertina,
an interesting move that.
You've got to know how to back out. Now we're going on to the penultimate lap of this race. Zero Zambra has been bitten by Henry Moore this season. Jason Cooper has been bitten by Henry Moore this season. Will they come out on top on this occasion? Just 2 more laps around Donington Park National for one of those to take over the reins of the victory from the number 41 that's been holding on to it for quite a while in this race.
And we know Zambra likes the last lap overtake, so surely it is coming. Once again, it just needs to find the right time to do it. But the issue for Zambra now is he's got 2 cars to overtake on the final lap. That's probably going to be too much. So a move surely needs to be made this time around. Up the hill, he's getting very close. Cooper not right on the back bumper there. No, not really a bumper on these cars. Up towards McLean's once more. Is there going to be a move up the inside? A slight dive? No, there's going to be a look to the inside from Cooper, but not enough or anything to make some moves.
Well, this 3 surely are not going to cross the line in the same way that they are right now. Someone's got to go for something as Ronnie Smith gets past Matthew Crisp, who I believe is fairly damaged after that incident from earlier. Zero Zambra is going to look to the inside, but the slipstream is being taken by Jason Cooper. He's the one that needs to instigate some form of move here, but we've been riding on board with Jason Cooper a few times in the final chicane. He's definitely lifting out of it, waiting for his opportunity. So it's going to come on the final lap of this race then. 30 seconds left to go. They'll come across the line. The white flag will be out. The penultimate lap is over. The final lap begins, and Henry Moore is going to lead by a tenth and a bit of a second over Jason Cooper. Zero Zambra also in tow. Henry Moore looking to take the clean sweep of the evening.
2 really good opportunities into McLean's, then into the final chicane. Which one is it going to be? Or maybe both for the likes of Zero Zambra as they come down the hill, through the crater curves up the inside. No, this is not the place. You want to get the run. You want to get the momentum as we come back up the hill in towards the next braking zone.
Up the hill they go. There are switches galore behind. Danamore and Isaac Phelps will switch over, with Danamore taking over that 6th position. Jason Cooper's close. There's got to be the opportunity. The only one that's going to be left, though, Cam, is that final chicane. We've seen the attempts going into it. We've seen a couple of them not come out too well. Adam Tompkins in the previous race.
There's got to be a move here by someone. I don't think Henry Moore's going to have an easy time as you come down the back straight. Is there going to be a double slipstream from Zambra? This is going to be so difficult. Moore comes to the inside for one final time.
Let's see then. They go down. The train pulls over to the right-hand side. Henry Moore's expecting the attempt. Zero Zambra's going to try and make it 3 wide. Backs out of that one. Jason Cooper's not going to do it. It's going to be a perfect final chicane. It is indeed by Henry Moore. And there's a spin, though, from Jason Cooper. He's going to drop back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe. But Henry Moore is going to take the clean sweep here at Donington Park. A 3rd victory of the season, a 2nd of the evening, and the championship leader is starting to run away.
Okay.
Zero Zambra goes from 3rd to 2nd. But what happened in all of that, Cam? Was that an innocent mistake from Jason Cooper who comes across the line in 5th? Or was it Zero Zambra making a little bit of contact to the rear end?
To be honest, I was looking at the front of Zambra's car the whole way through that sequence, and he did make contact on the rear. Was it him sort of being a bit impatient on the throttle or something like that? With potentially have to take a replay to see that one, but definitely look at how close Zambra was as we came through this first apex.
Yeah, looking at it from above. Yeah, definitely Zero Zambra's into the rear end of Jason Cooper, and I don't know, Cam. It's tough going through there, but that, for me, is a little bit more on the shoulders of Zero Zambra. You've got to expect that car, the car can't just disappear and you can't just drive straight into the back of it.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe penalties coming his way, because also when you're just when you're the car behind, is 99% it is your fault, because you've got to react to what's happening in front. And if the car slightly slows down and you're coming in even faster, then it's going to be your fault potentially. So Zambra might be losing that second place, which just adds to Henry Moore's championship lead that he's going to have after this round.
Yeah, if not, we'll pick up some penalty points post-round. We'll discuss that in a few moments' time. But Henry Moore has taken a second victory of the evening and third of the season. Zero Zambra and Adam Tompkins join on the podium after a fantastic display. Brandon Loudon will take fourth position, with Jason Cooper dropping back to fifth on the final lap of the race. Dan Moore with a fantastic drive up to sixth place, with Isaac Phelps, Martin Vilk, Jack Badger and Cameron Knowles rounding out the top 10 and the points scorers from this race. Yeah. It's been a tough one. Mac McFarquhar in 11th place, Owen Whittle, Ed Hope. Obviously, big dramas for those through the race. Ronnie Smith and William Hope. Obviously, those are all kind of having their own issues. Ended up in gravel traps. Aaron Mensah, Connor Scudell, Matthew Crisp. Big shame for him. Stalling the race, started from second place. Managed to work his way back up before dropping back down. Oliver Ettridge and Jordan Groves, the first of the retirements on the list. Big shame for some. Less so for others. Of course, Daniel Coffield started the reverse grid from pole position, with Paula Stepanovsky also retirements from this race. Zero Zambra taking the fastest lap of the race, and of course second place in it. But they all came up short of Henry Moore, who I'm sure we'll grab a quick interview with before we get into the final British Formula 4 esports race of the evening. Henry Moore on top here. Both races, clean sweep at Donington Park. Got to be on quite a high after that one. It was a pretty solid race. A lot of defence in there.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
How does that feel like, knowing that really right now all fingers are pointing to you, all targets are surely on your back? Are you okay with that? Knowing that you're the fastest driver in this championship and the favourite for it?
I don't know about fastest yet. I mean, I've had two tracks that have suited me quite well, so we'll see how it goes moving on. But I've had the target on my back for these last two races now, so I'm happy with both wins. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. I didn't think I would win that.
With you saying then that these two circuits favour you and your driving style, is there a circuit coming up? Obviously, we've got 6 more rounds left to go. Is there a circuit which you're concerned about then? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't really driven Snetterton too much, but going into Donington, I'd only done one race here in the past and not like any laps until I started practicing. So yeah, we'll see.
Do you kind of pay attention to other drivers that are around you in the championship? Obviously, Dan Moore was the joint championship leader coming into this with you. Had a bit of a struggle this round, a bit further down the order. Do you pay attention to that, or is it just whoever you're battling with in the race, that's just the target for now?
Well, obviously the championship's the most important, but you got to battle who's on track with you. Doesn't matter whether they're in the championship, if they're in front of you or behind you. You just have to try and beat them. So that was my main goal coming into this, and I've done it, so I'm happy.
Well, have a happy evening, and obviously we'll see you in a week's time when we go racing next time. But a great effort once again there, Henry. Well done.
Thank you.
There we go. The clean sweep of the evening, the first one of the season. Whether we'll see more throughout the 2023 championship, we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure the answer to the question is probably. We'll be joined as well by, I think, Zero Zambra, obviously finished in second position in that race. We want to get a quick chat with you, Zero, about that final chicane. Thoughts on it? Was there a little bit of contact between you and Jason? How did that one feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was close racing through the whole race, and it was just the pressure was building up, and last chicane came. I thought, well, maybe let's try to get a good exit out of it so I can maybe get chasing, so I braked earlier. And yeah, I was a little bit too early on throttle and chasing a little bit too late, and that then led into a crash. And yeah, I'm really sorry for chasing, to be honest, but yeah, it's close racing.
Now, we had a chat with you back in Brands Hatch, obviously, when you finished second in the first race of the season. Are you kind of like learning every race onto how to go on the attack and maybe where there's a little bit more speed? Obviously, you got a good looking at what Henry was doing across that race to find out maybe where some of that pace was that he found in quali to go 0.3 faster?
Yeah, I mean, Henry is a really fast guy in the Formula 4, and it's really hard to get on his pace. But I think if I do my best, P2 or is probably in there in the championship, and I'll just give it everything, you know. I try to race consistent. I mean, the ending wasn't great now, but yeah, I'll just move on and heads down.
And obviously Snetterton next is a circuit which you've driven much. Are you excited for, or is it something which is a bit kind of, you know, a bit apprehensive about?
Actually, I can't race next race,
Ooh,
so
there we go.
that would be a race off. That's really hard, but yeah, I'll come back for the next one then.
Well, we'll see you at Alton Park then. Have a good one, and yeah, see you soon.
You too. Thanks.
Perfect. So Sirius Amber on the podium for the second time this evening and a third in the championship. I think we'll very quickly catch a word, if we can, with Adam Tompkins before we get into the final British Formula 4 esports race of the evening. Of course, you know, came into this round with, I think it was just the single point onto your name, Adam, coming into this one. Bit of a turnaround for the books. Couple of podiums, looking like you know, a really strong driver to start fighting towards the front. Is that how you're feeling right now?
Yeah, a bit of an anomaly the first round, to be honest. At Brands, we're involved in all kinds of incidents, unavoidable incidents, so that'll definitely be a drop round. But yeah, happy with the third. I expected something to happen on the last lap, to be honest, with 3 up front. Just a bit of a shame with the slowdown, which got me out of the slipstream. But yeah, I'd still take third and second, to be honest, despite not winning the first race. But yeah, that's the Henry as well. That was a great drive.
Knowing how this championship is, I mean, you've said it with obviously how your first round was, you know, how this season can unfold with a bit of drama. Are you kind of expecting someone like Henry Moore and, you know, Sirius Ambrose, other drivers at the front to kind of have those difficulties like what we've seen with Dana Moore, with yourself at Brands Indy? Are you expecting everyone's going to have one of those weekends or one of those rounds across the season?
I think so, yeah. I think it was me last week, and this week it looks like it may have been Jason, so maybe Dan as well, like you said. So yeah, I think that's going to happen, particularly at Knock Hill, or maybe that's everyone at Knock Hill, who knows. But yeah, I think it's just going to happen. It's unavoidable. It's racing, I guess.
Is Knock Hill the one you're a little concerned about, or is there another track on there where you're looking at it being like, oh, that one's going to be drama?
Well, Snetterton is one I've never really raced at before. Alton Park's a home circuit, so I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, Snetterton and Knock Hill, not particularly familiar with them at a good level. So yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Well, Adam, congratulations. Well done on the evening. Been a great turnaround for you, and we'll see you going strong next week.
Thanks very much. Take care.
And there we go, Cam. Formula 1600 done for the day. On to the British Formula 4 esports action for their final race. Reverse grids taking hold. This should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I think, open up to be a really good race. Of course, the final race of the evening, reverse grid coming our way. And after the battle that we had in that first, in that first race of the evening, I think we're going to get even more. 20 minutes of action, and I don't think the race winner just pulling away like this one.
Yeah, of course, again, a reminder, the reverse grid is, I was going to say 7-6. Icon quick hits. Yeah, had a very solid race in the previous one. Obviously, like I say, did have a little bit of pressure from Josh out at various points, but yeah, was basically running away. You can see the two Stormforce ART cars going around with each other at the moment. We're in warm-up. We're about to go into that race when that time hits 0. He's not going to have an easy run in this one. It's about keeping this one out of trouble. He said himself that 6th place would be pretty good just keeping him out of trouble.
Yeah, and I think that's the mentality that he's got to have coming into this. The reverse grid is always a little bit awkward, especially for the championship leaders and people fighting for the championship. Often they're sliding on the rear, but for the guys contending for the championship, when you get put into the middle of the pack as such, and especially in the first couple of laps, when everyone's so close together. Man, it's stressful and it's tricky, and you're so close. Every corner there could be potential danger. So for him, he just needs to have a nice clean lap 1 or 2, see where he is, and just try and consolidate that position. Yeah, we'll remind you of the top 5 or so from that race. Pete Bennett taking the victory, Josh Ladd, Nick McEwen, Gordon Hutch, and Matt Carolina being the top 5 from that race. I'll chuck in Isaac Arlington as well, because he's going to be the driver that gets the first. We'll take a look in this one session. We'll have a look at some of the driving teams maybe haven't had a particularly good start to the season. Manuel Bianca Lilla, actually a good one to kind of touch on a little bit here, because for the Aston Martin Esports team, it has not been a strong start to their campaign. They've had a lot of issues. Bianca Lilla, we know, is rapid in an open wheel, but they've just not really clicked
in the championship. And when you're representing a team like Aston Martin, a brand like Aston Martin, in an official capacity, you're not just playing, representing them in the F1 game in your own little career mode. This is the real time. This is you're actually representing that actual brand. This is tough.
Yeah, when I saw the entry list and I saw that team, I was like, oh wow, this is quite big. This is also when you get let's call it like independent teams. You actually get a proper racing team or a proper manufacturer team, something like that coming into it. You're like, wow, this is they're actually putting in some effort to win the championship. It just hasn't come for them. I really thought these guys were going to be back in the top 5 or so in the races, and maybe it doesn't help. Obviously, a lot of teams had experience or have had more experience in the car potentially, something like that. And maybe as the season progresses, races of the season, by the time we come back to Donington Hatch for the longer service, maybe they would have worked out the car.
Sergio Fitzpatrick on screen at the moment. Obviously, was supposed to race back in Brands Hatch, then the day before there was a couple of issues, etc., and then couldn't unfortunately take part, which is a big shame. We know Sergio Fitzpatrick and the Prismatic they are strong. In fact, they've had decent results with Prismatic Motorsports in the previous season. We can expect to see a bit more of that in future, but alas, sometimes the season they don't start in the way that you would particularly expect. It's kind of been a little bit of the same for Pure Sims for both their drivers. Harley Horns had a couple of problems. Alexander Davidson also having a couple of problems. This is an esports team that we expect to see consistently in the points. But when you're in a championship that's so strong like this, you get a couple of iffy results. It's hard to get back in the rhythm.
Yeah, Davidson did get 4th place in the second race in Brands, but there was a lot of things going on from memory in that one as well. So it's definitely very difficult to have the consistent. It was a 13th place as well in that first race. So yeah, so difficult. Of course, Horton getting a retirement in that the second race. So yeah, definitely going to be a tricky one to come back from. But once again, sometimes you just got to keep going, and as the race, as season progresses, you just got to keep working forward. Just find those tenths in the car.
Yeah, we had so a couple of looks at various drivers on the grid there, including one Mr. Gordy Match.
Hey James, say Dan to connect. It's 20 seconds left.
Hopefully not getting that one once more. We'll get ready for 20 more minutes in the
yeah, but he's connected. He's on the grid at least.
We'll bring you the starting grid.
Why is he doing this again?
Onto the
he
pole
doesn't
position.
rejoin them.
Matt Caruana, Gordy Much, Luke McEwen, Josh Ladd, and Pete Berryman, the drivers that all got reversed. Obviously, that victory from Berryman earlier on in the evening. Lucas Miller, Remy Gilbert came into it battling for the championship. Josh Poulain, championship leader in 9th. Then Matt Emery in 10th place. James Armstrong and Ted Bradbury round out the top 12. Duncan Hoffland, the lone driver for Aston Martin with points on the board. Tamash Simon, Moreno Sarika, Tobias Olsen, Brandon Abrahams, and of course Stanley Deslandis. Carl Chase, Harley Horton starting inside the top 20 with Daniel Sabula bopping along. You can see the rest of the grid filtering their way through. All 30 of our fantastic drivers onto the grid. I asked you last time, I'm going to ask you again very quickly. Who's coming out on top?
Pete Berryman with a double.
I'm going with Gordy Much. We'll switch our predictions from the last one. We'll get racing in the second race of the evening, the 4th of the championship. A good start from Isaac Upperton, pulling over the nose of Matt Caruana, who gets to the inside of the first corner. The 29 of Gordy Much on the attack in the background, but it's one of his sister teammates, Luke McEwen, getting straight to the inside. It's nice and tight between the top 10, 15, 20, and I think even 30 through the first corner. We head down the hill to the old head for the first time.
Pretty one line on the inside, though. It might be a look there for Caruana, not quite enough to get the race lead as it stands all over the grass, though, as he come up the hill and around the outside. This might be some moves up to the lead.
Yes, Gordy Much making it 3 wide. Matt Caruana gets over the left-hand side, takes a lot of the curb. Gordy Much trying to attack for it. Arvidsson around the outside as they head through McLean for the first time, being followed by his teammate Luke McEwen up towards Coppice. It's Gordy Much still the inside with number 13 of Isaac Arvidsson, still trying to make it stick around the outside. He's going to have to commit all the way down the Starkey straight towards the final chicane. But at the moment it does look as though it's the 29 of JHR by Twitter and Esports driver Gordy Much taking over the race lead and looking for his second victory of the season. But he's in the cup. Oh, there's Luke McEwen as well as involved.
Oh wow, huge, so many cars there, having to move out of the way as that is the number 1 machine. McEwen go way back into the field.
Still got a car on the left.
Pete Berryman now coming to second place around the outside, potentially for Caruana. Well, what an important contact potentially for the championship drivers that we will be expecting to be up there involved in that one.
Still on the left.
Around the outside there, through the cradle curves for the second place.
Yeah, Caruana dropping back that position. Pete Berryman now into second.
Go looking on the inside.
Up towards Josh Ladd.
Free wide.
As our new race leader.
Free wide. Oh, yeah.
Races where in the second race it's not so great for Gordy Much. We'll take another look back at it. Isaac Arkinson was very close to the rear end. Was there contact on the curve? Was it just Gordy Much overcooking it? I get the feeling it might actually be Gordy Much taking too much of that second curve.
Yeah, I get the feeling as
Clear on
well.
the right,
Yeah,
can't behind you,
let's
looking
see
at the
from
inside.
The left-hand side as such, this is going to be a really good shot. Goes in a slight...
Going for it on your inside.
No, there was contact. There definitely was contact.
Es que qué imbécil, de verdad. Ay, qué tonto es. Sorry, such a Spanish. What a fucking idiot. Aston Martin driver. What a fucking idiot.
You don't look like you've got damage. Keep going, someone else on. Down in front of you, so
in all of that, working his way through some free UK is actually looking pretty good once again. Team championship side of things, these are the kind of races they need to take full advantage of.
Fuck it.
Because they've got a banging livery.
Fuck it, completely.
But also because they want to win the team championship. I just want to talk about the livery a little bit because I like dark blue and green.
Yeah, that's definitely your colours, isn't it? So we've got Berman and Caruana there on all. Sarika has gone off. The other Williams driver's teammate leading the race. Unfortunately, Sarika is out of this one.
Wow, big drama then for Williams Esports. Again, a team that we would expect to be fighting up towards the top. This is basically what happened. I think is that fighting with Isaac Arvidsson or Tobias Olsen. I think it's Olsen. Oh, there was air between the pair of those going into the old hairpin, and that just they all came to blows. They were all very tight going into there. All taking a lot of risk, and when you're taking those risks, you kind of know what's going to be
oh my God.
on the occasion. There is Tobias Olsen over on the left side. Is there after some contact between the teammates, Aztec and Prismatic involved?
Yeah, that is not what you want to see. It's the two teammates. Here's Capelli coming in towards McLean's. Is there going to be anywhere for Rachel's go? Absolutely not. Just coming straight across horizontally in front of the car.
Yeah.
Whoa,
what a rejoin.